math now. So before we start, go now and grab my free unit study planner. Click the link in the description of this post. So in this video, I'm going to provide several key reasons why learning about nature's numbers is an imperative foundation for a great math education in your homeschool or classroom, and not just an extracurricular activity. I've been providing online courses to the homeschool and school community, teaching the beauty and wonder of the golden ratio, represented by 1.618, etc., and the Fibonacci numbers series, which is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. You add the subsequent numbers to give you the next number, and it is infinite. And I've been teaching these since 2003 in my online course called Math Art. Let me tell you a short story. When I was an 8-year-old girl, I was in the 2nd grade. I was actually held back in my early elementary school years because I didn't have enough support from home. I was being raised by a single mother with mental illness, and she just could not give me what I needed. So I ended up failing a couple grades. So anyway, I was 8 years old in the 2nd grade, and I remember my teacher handing me back some math homework, and it was covered in red X's. I was just horrified, like red X, red X, red X, and I just froze. I just was like deer in the headlights. That weekend, I think it was that same weekend, I went home, or I went to my grandparents' house, and I got a hold of a book by Jacques Cousteau about marine life, and I looked through that book cover to cover. And at that time, I didn't know, I was just starting to read. I taught myself to read with restaurants, signs, and billboards on the highway while driving in the car with my grandparents. So I was reading this book, and I was getting inspired looking at the wonders of marine life. So over a weekend, I sat down at the kitchen table. I remember it like it's yesterday. I can still see the apartment, like this little apartment, this 1-bedroom apartment. I slept in like the dining room, the living room. And so, yeah, it was Saturday morning, and I took some paper, some scissors, some tape, some crayons, and colored pencils, and I cut out little pictures. I made this little booklet, and I drew pictures of marine life. And then I added math problems, like 1 + 1, 4 × 4. And then as I progressed through the little booklets, I drew little pictures of the marine animals, including a mermaid. And I drew these little math problems. And I actually still have it. It's the one iconic thing that I have from my childhood. And I made 3 of these little tiny booklets. And it was like this victorious little project. Nobody told me to do it. Totally child self-directed project. I'm a big proponent of unschooling and child self-directed education. They aren't given enough credit for their learning. They, especially young kids, the desire for learning isn't easy. So I had these little booklets, and I sealed them, these little plastic containers, something that was around the house, because I knew that these were really precious. And it was like foretelling what I was meant to do. It was meant to be a writer, a curriculum writer. And I was meant to connect with the natural world. So to this day, I actually have a marine biology course. I started writing when I was 8 years old. I actually didn't include what I did then in my curriculum today. I should actually. So yeah, I mean, there I was, this 8-year-old girl, and failing in school, but on my own, left to my own devices, I was just so creative and incorporated mathematics with science. So my students and I never get tired or weary of the connections that math has with the real world. But toss in a math textbook or a math worksheet with, and more than half of my students will zone out from boredom. Does this sound familiar to you? They'll get disinterested, disengagement is high. Yet modern-day mathematics education continually force feeds students maths in this way, with slow, painful, incremental learning, with little or at best a vague connection with the real world. This is the pure definition of insanity. Our math education is disconnected from reality. It's just, studying pure numbers for the sake of pure numbers works for some people. But for most of the population, this just does not work. And that's why there is high failure in a lot of American math education. Why not replace your math textbook and your boring programs with learning the beauty and applications of math at a young age, starting as soon as they're babies? You can start showing them the fractal patterns. It's fall now, so you can look on the ground for leaves and show your baby the veined pattern in those leaves, and then show the vein pattern in your hands. This is a pattern repeatedly found throughout nature, and it's rich and it's alive. Veins carry the life blood throughout an organism. Of course, in plants, the chlorophyll, the nutrients in the water that the plant absorbs through the roots. So start with the golden ratio, Fibonacci number series, and nature's most common patterns, hexagonal, circular, fractal lines, and curves. From studying the beauty and wonder of mathematics, the rest of the basics and higher maths will fall into place. But not the way you think. Kids learn maths best through just living life. Math is used naturally in anything and everything that you do in life. You just need to find it. You can find it like a treasure hunt and journal about it. There's your math curriculum right there. Who needs a textbook, right? Once kids see the connections these numbers have in art, architecture, and nature, they'll get hooked on math. So I didn't learn about nature's numbers and patterns until the year after I graduated college. That, my friends, that's just, as exciting as it was to find it when I was 23 years old, I would have loved to have learned in my babyhood when I was a toddler in kindergarten and had been well versed in these numbers and how to find them and how to use them. But when I found them at age 23 after college, I was enthralled. I was like a kid in a candy shop, wishing any of my teachers had introduced them to me starting in kindergarten. And that's really perfectly ridiculous timing to be learning it in my adulthood, but better late than never. So it all happened the spring after I graduated from college. At a book rummage sale, I picked up and opened an old Time Life hardback book entitled Mathematics, introducing me to mathematics, namely the golden ratio and Fibonacci number series found in art, architecture, music, science, nature, just everywhere, in so many different secret treasured places. And really, that's way too late, my friends. But yes, better late than never to have learned about these fabulous numbers. And I bet some of you are learning about them for the first time now, reading this post or watching this video. So I share this with you. I share with you also the important transformations that I've gone through to guide me to the point as a teacher to finally freely let go of painful step-by-step incremental math learning, textbook learning, and replace it with real-life math learning and applications. So number one, I've learned this. Kids need to be liberated to discover and learn basic math in real-life applications, such as math found in baking a cake, using math in video games. Math is found all over video games, by the way. And I know a lot of adults loathe video games. Yet there are kids that are just so immersed in them, and that's all they want to do. Fred, don't worry. They will do other things in life. But math is in the video games. Look for it like a treasure hunt. Number two, math is found everywhere. Textbooks poorly represent the beauty and wonder of mathematics. Without learning the beauty and wonder of mathematics, the sheer joy of mathematics is robbed from kids and adults alike. Number 3, most of mathematics education is never used in real life. Go figure. Why bother with it then? Really, there's a lot of kids that ask a very good question. When will I be using this in real life? Why do I need this? They're right. They're on to something. Listen to them. Number 4, I've learned that maths are best learned within a science topic of student interest. Learning should always be guided by high student curiosity and interest first. If it's not, it's an uphill battle. Starting with any science topic a child is interested in, you can find plenty of math connections. It then becomes a treasure hunt, finding the math connections in your science topic. Say, for example, your child is interested in becoming an astronaut. There is so much math involved with space travel. This is where it becomes essential to learn higher math, such as trigonometry, calculus, and algebra. But whoa, maybe your 4th grader isn't ready for that, but maybe they are. If they're excited about being an astronaut and they're on fire and they're dressing up in their spacesuit every day, you could introduce like the basics of some of those higher maths. But wherever your child is in their maths ability and desire, you can find math applications right there in astronomy and learning to be an astronaut. How long is the rocket, right? How fast does the rocket need to go to break through the atmosphere's gravitational pull? See how exciting and interesting that would be for a child that wants to be an astronaut, Math becomes alive and real and applicable. So how much fuel does that rocket need? Okay? There are endless basic math possibilities of learning just in your child's desire, whatever science topic they're interested in. And it doesn't necessarily have to start with science, but science is a deep, rich seedbed of fascinating math connections. Math is the language of science. That's why I encourage you to start there. There are endless basic and advanced maths your child could be learning just from learning about becoming an astronaut. See now how math can be an exciting adventure instead of a chore, right? So grab my free unit study planner with this post showing you how to do what I just described. You can start researching your child's favorite science topic right now, today, and pulling in the math, the literature, the history, the geography that all relates to your child's favorite science topic. So click the link in the description or in the comments. All right, so you want to learn the math the easy way right now? Do math science unit studies, starting with your child's favorite science topic. Your child's chosen science topic brings math to life, and I'll show you how with my free unit study planner with an example unit study. Grab my free unit study planner right now. Go ahead, click the link, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.